Hi everybody, and welcome to a new Cortex episode. With us we've got Nevin, we've got Holt, and we've got Caramel Honeydew.
Starring in Splashback.
Revenge of the Golden Shower.
He's not laughing.
Who we're talking about?
It's alright. On here I look white. People can't tell the difference on here.
It's true story.
I can't actually reach out to the ethnic minority.
Yeah, that's why he got so much hate mail. He's like, I'm the ethnic minority here. People are like, no, you're not.
Wait, you're
racist.
How dare you?
I'm one of you! No, you're not.
You're not one of me!
You're Caramel Honeydew.
I'm not the same as you!
I've got a backache, back of my headache. Whew. Right. And so here we go. We are streaming now. We are Cortex. This is number 27, Book 2, Empire in Flames, 1152. And it is episode 9 of Book 2. Leave all else to the gods. That's the episode name.
All right, I was going to say, spoiler alert. What?
It's the god's fault.
What are you doing this week, family? Leaving everything to the gods? More beers, please.
Last week, our intrepid explorers, basically, to sum it all up, entered Middenheim, got into... Well, that was the week before. They had a conversation. They met the king of Middenheim, Herr Oberlander, found out that they were being watched after that event. Renyir was introduced to the group. You can have your man back. On top of that, you found out the king of Middenheim was in some way affiliated with Gotthard Goebbels, who is the reported or suspicious? Suspected of being head of the secret police. And on top of that, you found out about the Order of the Eye, a knightly order that's been sent by the crown to Middenheim.
Didn't seem very knightly.
That's not Keira Knightley. That's Lena Hartley. They burn some people, a lot of people, on a regular basis, and they have barracks on the Ulrichsmund in the centre of town. And you, Framling, wanted to have a look at the festivities. In which case, so you spent some time in the bath. In the early morning.
That makes no sense. A bit early. Let's go watch a burning. Time for a soak.
Yeah. We're a bit early. What should we do? Renyir went, well, the baths are just there. Let's just do this. Wound the staff up a little bit, or worried them. After that, you came out, and within moments of watching the condemned being taken to the stake, 5 of these said knights turned and stared directly at Framling and chased him down the street.
You don't do that often.
An experience we can all share in our personal lives. Oh, hey, I've just come to watch this. Oh, wait a minute, they're looking at me.
And your sworn sword and bodyguard casually just sort of stepped to the side.
Not with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with that.
He's immortal. He can take care of himself.
And he'd hardly had anything to drink. And
I hate Marcel as well.
You're at the front going, burn witches! Get him!
There's one over there! There's one over there!
So you ran off back to the pub. Expeditious retreat. You were Billy Big Balls. You're proper Tom Cruising it down the road. After that event, your 2 companions returned to the Harvest Goose.
After we've had a good time. Leaving me poor by myself, like, am I going to die?
Yeah, leaning against the side there. They definitely had your back. Way back.
they came in with candy floss, toffee apples. That was great. Family, what have you been up to?
Smell like bacon.
Anybody? I'm a bit peckish, actually.
Anyone fancy a kebab?
Hog on a spit.
So at that point you decided to rethink your options here. What was going on? What's the situation? Is there a genuine threat? There was a lot to be seen, and you decided that you wanted to know more about the Order of the Eye. At which point Renyir went, right, and you said, how do we get there? Oh, we could use the sewers. And he went, well, that's where the Undercity is.
Yeah, bombshell button.
Yeah. Double takes. You went, what's the Undercity? And he went, well, I don't know. None of us go there. You then decided that having talked to Talbot, who was very much against going into the sewers,
Arnung was.
Sorry, Arnung, not Talbot.
Hey, what am I doing here?
Hello! He sounded like Mario. Hey!
Hey!
It's me, a Talbot.
Try that demographic. I'm looking a bit pale. I'll go for the Italian vote. Hey!
Hey! Cappuccino.
Hey!
So
I
it's
don't
very
even
much.
know what that is. What is that?
If you could see me legs were going as well.
I don't want to see his legs.
No, you don't want to
Let's
see.
vote that straight away.
Arnung was against going into the sewers. He much preferred an idea of going to investigate the barracks by sending the young lad.
The mole.
Yeah, send Renyir was his answer. So Renyir
Brave knight. Send the boy.
So that was how it ended. Was Renyir walking out the door, heading up down the street towards the barracks. Now, just to quickly go over for anybody watching, what we have here is we have Framling, the head of an order reputed to be the son of Taal, a demigod. Right. Darth Vader's on camera somewhere.
Yeah, I can hear that. I was just about to say, who's the heavy breather?
Oh, that might have been me, probably.
What was that? Is that where you keep it? Great summer nose out.
Disco.
It's so much easier. You've got so much camera space.
For those tuning in, none of us are actually high. Because, that's why it's...
It's all that sugar.
yeah, anyway.
It reminds me
Brought
of
to you
that time
by
when
Tiger Beer.
reminds me of that time when somebody actually went, I don't know what you're talking about, but you're very excited.
Yeah.
That you did it. We were just laughing. I hadn't said anything in 5 minutes. Framling is the head of the. You're a single man wrecking ball. Is that no? I don't know
What?
how.
That came across. You're a single testicle. What? What?
That is
The
something.
single cause why the Chaos Gods are alive.
Yeah,
there is that.
I'm their biggest fan. Generator.
So yes, we have the immortal Framling, who has been around since time immemorial. He has okay. The mic needs to come up past your nostril. No, that's below. What do you mean it is? Hey!
See it.
Yeah, it is. You're on camera. Yeah,
I guess
so,
several nostrils. You weren't specific enough. Well, it's above my chin nostrils.
yeah, right. So, so Framling is played by Nevin, and we have Arnung, who's in his 60s now, a very important man in Nordland. You're not in Nordland. Sworn member of the Order of the Stag, and I suppose defender of Framling's will.
Like, please stop.
Brotherhood of the Stag.
Yes,
The
the Brotherhood of the Stag.
Slightly reticent defender of my will.
More
Slightly
remote
pushing
cousin.
back and
Well, he was there when you made a tyrant.
Yeah.
Well, not that he remembers, because he's getting on a bit. So yes, and then we have Renyir, Renyir is a 15-year-old with a certain fondness for brandy.
after that night, yeah, there was.
Because Arnung keeps giving him brandy.
What's that about?
It just happened. So yeah, we've got Renyir. He's a 15-year-old lad who, completely out of his depth.
Mind breaking.
You think?
Completely out of his depth. And
he's being fed alcohol by older gentlemen. One in his 60s, one in his 2000s.
I wonder what that's all about.
Exactly, what's that all about?
Forget what we said earlier. You're a god? Yeah, have a drink.
Try that.
What? You know the cause of the Skaven army? Have a drink.
This is where they're having a drink and they sort of like, did I tell you about the ring? This is very important. I want you to look after my ring. There's an old bloke with a massive beard talking to something that looks like a child about his ring. Don't stick your finger in my ring again. Because we all know Gandalf, also known as that bastard.
Balrog chaser.
Poor Balrog.
Yeah, poor Balrog. Everyone, take a moment. Everyone remember Dave the Balrog.
Just out for a walk.
Just came out for a stroll. He just loosened some kinks and all that sort of stuff. The goblins are making a noise. Woke him up. Next thing you know, he's being chased by bloody Gandalf.
But Gandalf, the bastard.
Gandalf, the bully, the schoolyard bully. I remember him from the first age. It was terrible.
Gandalf, you got that fiery on me.
You see his hot pokers on my arms.
I was only trying to chase those other people. I wasn't really chasing them. I was just saying to them, don't go out there, it's really cold. You haven't got a jacket on. Don't go across that rickety bridge. There's a perfectly good entrance over here. And that was it. Gandalf. Oh, big man.
You shall not pass.
But that's me door. Anyway, we digress.
As usual.
As always. So yeah, and that's where we are. So you
in Moria with Gandalf.
Gandalf, the jock, bullying children and
small Balrogs.
Yeah, baby Balrogs. Right. So
we've sent Renyir to stand outside the Barracks of Doom.
Yep.
Barracks.
Was that Barad-dûm or was that Barracks of Doom?
Either way.
Either way. Not looking good for Renyir. Hopefully he took a flask of brandy with him.
Typical Games Workshop style. The Tower of Barracks Doom. You're just slightly altering the words. They sound the same, but you've altered them slightly.
Yeah, not copyright.
Yeah.
The one forehead. The one what? The forehead.
They headbutt them all.
Grandad the Grey. Anyway.
Orc boy Frodo.
You can't say Frodo.
No, that's it's got to be something else. Frido.
Frido and Tim.
Tim, nice.
His friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Frido.
Tim, why are you outside my bedroom in the bushes again? I'm his gardener. That's not going to work again, Tim. Why are you watching me and me granddad? Going on about this bloody old ring.
I've picked up on some keywords.
Oh my life.
The one what? Just one ring.
Good start.
This is, you know what this is, don't you? That's Simon's ring. What?
It's quite hot.
Right, away, compose yourselves.
The Elven police were after him because he was out with some first years.
Oh, she's been chased by Gary as well. Gary's after the ring as well. An old white fella. He's had it. He loves it. Oh, God. Oh, it's all good stuff, this. Oh, right. Anyways, gentle watchers. I'm going
back in
Yeah. Come on.
So, I'm just pitching. I'm pitching Greg, right? Greg standing on his ancestor's tomb, right? As the doors break open and all the giblins run in. And oh no, the broad fat Mary. Oh, she's drunk again.
Oh, dear me. I need to sell that. There's no way the Talking Estate could ever think we were thinking the same thing.
We'll just use the Games Workshop rule law. No. We've changed everything. You haven't. Not everything. It's completely unique. It's not like.
It really isn't.
All you've done is badly dubbed my movie. Shut up. Prove it.
Oh, God. If it's too heavy for you, Mr. Friday, said Tim. I can pull your ring. No, fine. Don't touch it.
Hey,
It's my precious.
Oh, look. It's the steward of Gindle. Barry. Barry's after Freedy's ring as well.
Just think what we could do with your ring, Tim. Friday said Barry as he strode towards him in the clearing. I'm all alone.
So
after me ring.
So much horror over such a small thing. Get off me bum!
Oh, God. Right. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, he's over it now. Can we
No.
start?
What?
No.
What? Honky?
What?
You just called me a honky?
You wouldn't think, just you wouldn't think, how, we were the young, immature ones here. Alright.
Sorry, we invited President Business in.
It's only just because you got
Someone's got to keep it real.
respect.
The hell is that?
It's a deformed rabbit.
Where were we?
I don't know. Hey, what's that over there?
Taal?
Not what you thought. Right. I've got a sweat on now. Said Gandalf.
Right, thanks everyone. That's it. That's another Cortex session. Catch you next week.
No more Lord of the Rings references.
One more.
Oh.
And welcome to Cortex, episode 28, where we do our own version of Lord of the Rings badly.
Oh, yeah. No,
Chapter 6.
Just wait till we start tearing a Game of Thrones. Oh, God. Yeah, there's so much there that can be mined.
Before you go into the mine of Moria, watch out for Mr. Feely. Right, okay, moving on.
Right, let's go. Go on.
Deep breaths.
Secrets. Right. Renyir, you're heading down the road towards the barracks. You're alone, except for the huge crowd of people.
And some blacksmith at 2 a.m.
So this is the afternoon, actually. Remember, it's just gone 12. Well, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, you're heading. You head down the road towards the south end of the Ulrichsburg. Obviously, I'm taking for granted that you are blending in to the large crowd. People are moving backwards and forwards on horseback. There's wagons, people working. Unexpectedly for this quarter, a blacksmith has opened up shop recently.
Just randomly on the main thoroughfare in the mercantile district.
Yeah. Move it.
What's your plan? So you're after the orator. That's all you know him as, a guy that was wearing standard clothing. Now, after the fire, himself and the 10 knights that you witnessed went back into the barracks.
Yeah.
Very quickly, obviously, you slip your way through the crowd. You note the usual 6-man militia squad marching past. The scene, everyone around is relaxed and going about their business. Nothing untoward is going on. The sun is bright in the sky, and otherwise it's a lovely day as you go about your sneaking.
Sneaky. Right. So, do the knights come out at all? Or is it just the militiamen?
No, the militiamen don't come out. The militiamen are just on patrol.
No,
you've
I'm
been
saying...
down the city. Well, you've never... Since you've been away 20 minutes. You've returned to the scene. There are labourers clearing up the mess. The corpses are being pushed into large sort of metal cages, rounded at the top with a hoop. You've seen these before, and you know that they are going to be hung from the outer walls near the main causeways and tolls, with warnings that witches will not be tolerated in the city.
Yeah.
You've seen this several times before. So the area that you are currently in, as you're well aware, is the Ulrichsburg, and there is the Freiburg estate, or the area beside you. This is all fairly well-to-do people.
Yeah.
For the time, at this time of day, there's still beggars, there's kids in the street, there's workers moving backwards and forwards through the city. You're not exactly sticking out by any means. And normally, these would be great pickings for you to do a little bit of pickpocketing, but obviously in this situation, there's a reason for you to be here.
Well, I'll just blend in with the beggars and that, so it's like, because they have the better view. And just try just make myself, unfortunately, cover myself in horseshit and blend in with the beggars.
What?
Okay. A few people who are actually in the vicinity, just sort of catch your eye as you sort of sit amongst the beggars and suddenly grab a load of poo and just go, hey! They sort of look at you like, oh! And then quickly move off in disgust. That's interesting. What the hell?
City's gone downhill in recent years, isn't it? Look at that idiot over there.
Okay, and you're just literally just going to sit there.
I'm gonna move about first, and then get to a better position so I can watch.
Go through that again, because I thought you were going to just go and sit in amongst the beggars who are waiting for the priests and the religious types to come out of the Ulrichsburg to get money. You were sitting amongst them covering yourself in shit.
I was meant to mean that was like, because you said I was blending in, and I'd get to a point where I wouldn't be in plain sight of everyone, and just make myself smell like the beggars and that.
Right,
you're not going to stand out at all.
So you get yourself down an alleyway, cover yourself in a little bit of mess, dirty water, rub some vegetation on you, throwing out vegetables, that sort of thing.
And even if possible, get like a nasty piece of sheet, just like to wrap over me, so I kind of look like one of the beggars. Because I wouldn't have like such nice gear on me.
And you never will again. It's so knackered. No, fair enough.
This is Arnung.
Well, this is, like I say, you've got the Merchant District, which is just a little bit past. So you've come in from the north, which is where the goose is. You've passed through the Ulrichsburg. The barracks is on your right-hand side as the furthest tip. on the right-hand side of the road as you walk down. Continuing on takes you into the merchant district. You take some moments. You've already been out of sight for 20 minutes anyway. You have no idea if the orator's already left or what's going on.
Yeah.
You take a moment to pop down into the merchant district, go around one of the, into the alleyways, around the businesses, find yourself a bit of tarpaulin, a bit of hessian, an old sack, so your first idea of covering yourself in manure seems to be a little bit over the top, because beggars don't generally do that either. So, look at that very well-dressed manure-covered man. And the beggars are like moving away from you, like, sod off, I'm trying to do business here.
Tongue shit out of them. Get off my area.
It's the idiot. So basically you get yourself a hessian sack, a little bit of debris, and head back to it. Now, as I told you, even though the barracks itself faces onto the Ulrichsmund, and it is technically in the south of it, it is also considered to be on the border with the Freiburg. Now, Freiburg, and the Freiburg, obviously, as you are well aware, is a fairly well-to-do area. That, mixed in with Ulrichsburg, means that though at this time of day the city is alive and people are moving backwards and forwards, merchants are doing their business, there's people moving through, because this is a main road leading on to the west gate. It is a mix of all levels of society. However, it is also a good place for beggars, being close to the Ulrichsmund, because this is where they will beg for coppers and coin. Making yourself look a little bit untidy, you settle into an area that is not conspicuous, but gives you a clear sight of the barracks, and proceed to beg, no doubt, as part of your cover, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm going to get smacked on it. Knights come out. Get out the way. Smack.
Meanwhile, in the Goose, what are you guys planning, doing? What's your thoughts?
Breakfast. No, lunch. Afternoon tea.
11s.
Well, so it's picking up is there anyone coming in, or is everyone at work? This is a mercantile area, isn't it, the Goose?
It is. But the Goose is also a place that deals are done, if people aren't interested in going in. So this is officially the area where the bigger trades are done. These are merchant companies as opposed to stores and the smaller concerns. So generally you're going to find that you'll have some warehouses here in amongst larger concerns. So for example, you have various different places here, such as that there's a merchants guild, the offices of the Commission, Commerce, Trade, Taxation. You've got the offices of a large coach firm, the city stables. Bear in mind that Middenheim is on top of a mountain, and it's not as if they've got area like a lot of space. So this stables is the city stables. This is where people are effectively placing their horses, because they've got nowhere to. Most of the populace won't have anywhere. They won't have their own stables. It's not a sprawling town. They're on top of a mountain. But other than that, this is there's a few spatterings. There's a few people have come in. They're having a sit down. It got a little bit busier as you were coming in. Lunch was kind of getting over. People were going about their business, and like I say, there's 2 or 3 groups of people are in here. And based on that conversation, they're talking about minor trade deals, ironing out a problem here, a shipping issue, as from the south, of some corn, or of some wheat has been a bit delayed, and that sort of thing.
Nothing at all about the events in this morning from the witches, and nothing that anyone's talking about. Just a main activity as far as, well, obviously not even any activity as far as these guys are concerned. Yeah,
so I mean, it wasn't so much that it was a minor activity per se. It won't attract the merchant guys. They've seen their first one. The impression you're getting is that this is not by any means the first time. There's been obviously a fair few of these have happened over the last few months, and the merchants, these guys are your middle to upper class traders. And they just they're aware that there's a burning and they've got on with their job. And you'll find that the people that were watching, especially when you were there, were passerbys and people with more time on their hands. Instead of
so no suggestion it's bad for business, or that it's concerned that it's driving away the outside markets, or it's common in the empire, or this is all happening all over the place. I was just in X, Y, and Z, and they've had a similar thing. Nothing. Does it reach any suggestion of anything?
Absolutely nothing. You haven't got enough. There's not enough people around here. Nobody here is talking about it. Nobody looks horrified, and that's the main thing to remember: is that even though you've been here you have been here 4 days now, and the one thing that is an absolute is that the city does not feel oppressed. It's not horrified by any events, and based on the way that the orator was being, the guy that got the rabble going, they've probably got the city on side. They like a good burning. It's a distraction.
All right. Okay. In that case, I'm not going to be. I'm not leaving the Goose today until I find out what's going on from Renyir. I'm going to head back to my room. I'm going to try and do. I'm going to go back to my room and. Going to see if I can head. What's the word for it? Take a view astrally of the area where the witch hunters are, for one of the better word, the Order of the Eye, and see if there's anything I can sort of go over their position, not try to go in the building, just get a sense, good, bad, or indifferent. So I'm going to need to go to my room and have a bit of a quiet time. I don't think I'm going to be doing that in the middle of the bar.
Okay, no problem. Arnung? Huh? What?
He's having his daily nap.
Where am I?
What's wrong?
I think for Arnung's sake, I don't think I will be doing much either. I'm just waiting to hear back from Renyir.
Did I press a button there by accident?
No.
Oh, it suddenly went silent as I dropped my pen. So what sound effect just ripped across the audio there? Wrong one. Oh, Kane. Okay, right. Well, so you're going to sit in the bar?
I'm going to sit in the bar.
Okay.
And enjoy some drinks and some food. Go to a fight. No.
Yeah. That bar doesn't exist now.
Bar. Okay. Right. Well, basically, obviously, I'm aware of the way that time is going to be passing here, so we'll go back to yourself, Ramling. Entering your room, as I've said, it's a lockable option here. No doubt locking the door.
Yes, it definitely is. This is the sort of thing that goes on in private. Not for public consumption.
The shutters are open to let in the fresh air and get rid of old man farts. The sun is weakly coming in through the upper window, and the sounds, no doubt, of that irritating blacksmith.
Mobile blacksmith. Yeah, and his mobile tool shop. Ting, 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 ting.
No doubt beating that single horse. And you,
he only has one leg.
You look out the window and you see the city is going about its business, and the sun is high in the air and on its way towards the east. The smell of the fresh spring or late spring is in the air, and the sounds of life life of a city, which is something that you've been away from for a long time, and you could almost say have little experience with this sort of level. Of
cloying humanity. Oh my God, why am I protecting these things?
Yeah, the smell of the guttural animal that is man. Are you pulling the shutters over, or are you keeping them open?
No, I keep them open. I don't need. I'm not on ground floor. I'm on upper floor.
You're on the next.
I'm not overlooked, as it were.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Well, there's no issue. So cross-leg position, somewhere comfortable where I can rest my back, because I'm getting a bit on a bit, like, ooh, me back, ooh, me lumbago. And then basically go into a translate state to try and fly over astrally over where the Order of the Eye were, and all this seeks to serve is not to dive in and start scrying on individual people or anything like that. It's to go over, and it gives you a sense of it's almost like a smell, but it's like an emanation. So whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it'll give a taste of what's in the astral. It'll be whether it's a good vibe, bad vibe trait. It'll be like or utter horror, hell, or doesn't really stand out. But that's where I'm going to sort of head over.
Yeah, okay, well, obviously you know that the sort of distance that you're looking at is almost instantaneous as you enter the astral plane and you leave your body behind. You hover for a moment over the goose, acquaint yourself with the way that everything looks and feels. You see the winds of power driving from the north, wrapping around the Ulrichsburg and going over the city. You can see it permeating everything. If it's in the ground, it goes through people. You can see even here the brighter sparks of those that are have higher potential if given the right teachings. And we're talking about the use of the power that comes through the world from the void. As your particular power set seems to be, it's not unique, obviously, but it's lost to the world, and you are aware that, consciously speaking, the only true users of this power are three, and one is over a millennia ago went north and was never seen again, and another is far, far to your west, an old friend. The Humord are all glittering lights, though you're still able to differentiate by the particular form. In this site, you can see them as almost smaller, humanoid figures. The squarer version of the ground of the earth spirits, and the lighter, more feathery of the air. A lot of especially the air spirits, which you are now in, they move around you, and you feel a light upon you, and that the sense of well-being that comes with contact with this pure energy. Turning your mind or your sight to the south, you can see where you need to be. You recognise the multitude of people in the street, the thousands of these little sparks of life, also quick and flickering in the speed at which they rise and gutter. You see the young Renyir, almost a golden light of in his youthful years, sitting opposite the barracks, and you look down upon the barracks itself. Now, the barracks is a squat, like many of the buildings that you've seen in Middenheim, but this is without any there's no ornamentation. It is not adorned. It is a square building, almost dowie-like in construction. 2 floors. The lower floors are all barred and to stop from anybody getting in. The upper windows are shuttered from the outside and fairly standard. The building itself is fairly squat. Though it's 2 stories, it's longer to street side than it is in depth, but it's a good solid building. You can see that it has a walled courtyard that goes around it, and with very high walls. Within the courtyard itself, you can see that there is a you can see the life force of at least a dozen horses, which you identify as horses. And you know that is obviously the main entrance itself to the building. There's a pedestrian entrance, and then there's a high-topped wagonway entrance. The building gives off nothing except age. There's nothing particular about it, but you do feel yourself pulled forward, whether it's just curiosity or the sense of never having been challenged in over a millennia. You find yourself getting a bit closer, and you're a bit perplexed by what you see. There is a mix of a sensation about the people within it, not the building. There is clear sense of purpose and light, purpose of doing goodwill. you know what it's like to look upon a warrior who kills, but he does it for his home, he does it to defend his wife and family, and you know that it stains the soul. But you understand the good intentions, you can see where that comes from, the sense of evil, a sense of darkness within the soul. And what you have is you've got, from the vast majority, and the building is full, there is a lot of people in here. And overall, you've got a sense of purpose. You get from them that they believe what they're doing is right to such a degree that the stain on their soul, the burning of the witches and any other killings they've done, is there. You can sense it on them without getting too close. But you're also aware of a darkness at its core. You get a sense of thick liquid, black, almost oozing from the deep centre of the building itself, where the coalescence of energy of these lives are. You get the coppery taste of blood on the back of your throat, almost after a feel of a nosebleed. But there is no protection warding. The building has not been warded against scrying. There's no sense of somebody having the presence or the ability to see you, to project as you do. But you do sense, on one hand, a great threat, but on the other hand, it's a weapon without direction. It is not being directed to cause you harm, but you sense a great threat in the presence of these knights.
All right, okay. And when you're saying numbers, we're not just talking about the 10 or 12 that I saw outside in the courtyard. There's a lot more.
Yeah, there's unless you actually got to specifically.
No,
To
it's
30.
just a feel for it. Not.
Yeah.
I'm not like counting numbers. Just there's more than 12 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's more than 2 dozen.
Right. Okay. And when you're seeing it, there's a sort of a certain blackness at the heart. Is that just a sense of the heart, or is it a location?
Both.
Is it just more? Oh, it is a location. And where is that location? Is there something I can get a sense of? Is it like from the centre of the building, from the far left, or like 2 floors down?
It seems to come from under the courtyard.
Right. Okay. Right.
There's
Under
a
the
sense,
courtyard.
yeah, under the courtyard there is as you look upon the courtyard itself, having not actually decided to go down into it, though you'd be cautious to do so, there's a great sense of pain, of souls that are distraught. The deep-seated pain seems to echo from under the courtyard.
So I'm thinking that's probably where they keep people, or we're now in the below ground somewhere. Right, I'm going to retreat because it's not something I want to do for a long time, and I'm fairly exposed, hovering in the middle of the world that everyone can see. So I'm heading back. I'll head back to the inn, to the Goose.
Okay, no problem. Renyir, you've been outside as time is passing by.
Yeah.
You see the front door opens, and you see 3 men leave. One of them is the orator. He is in his normal clothing. You've been there about 2 hours.
Yeah.
With him, you see are 2 men. They've got there's nothing about them per se. They're Middenheimers. Midlanders, they're from the area by their shape and build. You're not quite close enough to hear their conversation. What's distinctive about these guys compared to everybody else is that they are wearing red surcoats, the tabard and the full front down. Unlike the knights, which wear the white, these are wearing a red surcoat with the black eye in the chest and a golden crown across the top. You have not seen these before. They all 3 leave the front door, closing it behind, and the orator he bids the other 2 farewell and starts heading up the main western road. The other 2 walk straight up the road away from your location, heading towards the No Garden area,
No garden area. Okay.
which is where the
Well,
goose is.
all right.
By the way,
well,
that's a main road heading up north, heading northern. You know, it's not like only the goose is there. The goose is one of hundreds of buildings and locations and businesses, etc. Yeah,
Yeah.
just because they're heading that way does not mean in any way that they're heading to the goose. But your target heads up the western road.
so I followed. Oh, I slowly get out of the situation that I'm in. And then
Yep.
start following the radar.
Okay. You don't have to follow him far. He passes about half a block of several buildings, and he goes towards what is a very well established townhouse.
Yep.
And takes out a large key, unlocks the front door, and steps in, closing it. You spend a couple of moments loitering across the road, and you see he turns on one of the gas lights inside, and you can see him walk around in a lounge. He goes up to something that's out of sight because of the windowsill. But apparently it's something to do with drinks. As he lifts a glass, takes a light pull on his drink, and from what you can tell while you're there, is he's opening up some parchments, scrolls. You know, you can see him opening up with a knife, and then he's having a read of something. All intents and purposes, he's at home. You wait a bit longer. You don't see anybody else come and go. You don't see him greet anybody or call out. But it is a very well appointed townhouse. Somebody of great wealth. And you would expect, being in the Freiburg, somebody of great importance.
So he's in the Freiburg, yeah?
He is in the Freiburg district, yeah.
Alright. Just make a note of that. Right, now, so, how long have I been there now?
It's probably getting on for about 5. So a few hours.
This is, I haven't come like across this place before.
No, you've seen the building before.
Yeah.
You know, you've been to the city a couple of months, but you can't possibly know who everybody is and who lives where.
No, it's not like
it's not a building that has come to your attention for any particular reason. No, it's just a house in a good, well-established area.
Okay. Right. Now, in that case, I'll head back to where they're staying.
To the goose.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Unless you family were going to go to sleep, I'm assuming that after you've rested a little bit, you'll have headed back down.
Go back down. Yeah, head back down. I'm not hiding up.
Well, you've got still, being the late spring, you've got a fair few hours left of sunlight, especially being on 500 foot up in the air on top of a mountain. Not many. The sun's not getting blocked by any valleys, but it's getting on for towards evening when Renyir slips back in. I'm assuming you've thrown your course.
Yeah.
Smelling of horse shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Renyir walks in. The place is starting to fill up with people coming in to those that have managed to finish early.
I didn't happen to see those two guys with the red surcoat hanging about anyway.
No,
at all.
No, you didn't.
Along this way. Okay.
No. So
okay.
You approach a table, no doubt.
Yep. The only one with the sullen Arnung.
Come, boy, drink.
Starting early already.
I go upstairs instead. That's not gonna end well.
What you're just cutting the drink out and just going straight with the after fun.
Yes, yeah. Let's get this over with.
Sit down at the table.
Okay.
Then drink the water instead.
That's not water.
You haven't been in the toilet, have you?
I have.
That's why I'm putting the drink to the side. On the next table. There you go. Drink on him.
Come on, Renyir, speak up.
Well, I found the
Out with
house.
it.
I found the house of the Orator.
You found the you found the house of the what?
The Orator.
Whereabouts is he?
You're both downstairs.
Yeah.
I told you so. He's located in Freiburg. The Freiburg area. So.
Is
I
this
can
a
take you
high
there.
value? Is this a high value area? Is it slums? What is the Freiburg?
It's the middle class area. Let me just jog my memory.
Does he have family?
Does
Not
he
that
have
he-
guards?
Not that it matters, of course.
No, he seems to be the only one in there.
Is he?
But
Is
he
it
did
fortified?
It's easy to get in.
Hmm.
But he did leave the barracks with two people, both wearing a red surcoat with the eye. I think black eye, the crown on it.
Say that again. It's a red circle with a black eye.
Yeah,
And a
instead
crown.
of the ones the knights wear. But they wandered up past this way. Not sure if they've been in here or not.
And did they continue? Have you just left?
They
You saw
separated
them?
after they left the
Right. Okay. So it's a red circle.
red surcoat.
Does that ring a bell?
surcoat.
Framling?
No. I mean, if the crown over the top of this black eye.
Yeah,
So is this,
similar
so
to
is this,
the ones the knights wear, but different color.
yeah. So I'm thinking not a different order, but a different location. These have got. So the ones we saw, they didn't have a crown on them, though, did they?
So
The ones that, in the burning.
Yeah, the 10 knights, they were wearing the white surcoat. They had the red eye on the chest with the golden crown.
These got a black eye. So it'll be either different geographical location, people from other cities. This order may be bigger than we know, or a different function.
They were from Middenheim, by the looks of them.
Oh, okay, right. So not a different geographical location, not from another city, but obviously a different function. Well, one would assume a different function. Did they look any different to the other knights, or are they just knights, heavily armed men?
They weren't dressed up as the knights.
They weren't. What were they? So how did you? They were just wearing tabards, yeah.
Yeah, so tabards over clothing.
So I'm just writing that.
Hmm.
So the knights that you saw were in full plate.
Yeah.
Chainmail, obviously visible through the the various gaps, making the armor. It is fully usable armor. This is not it's not there for ceremony. And Renyir, yeah, you saw these guys where they're wearing these light surcoats, not a full tabard, over their clothing and cinched at the waist with a belt.
Could you see the faces of the knights?
Yeah, they weren't wearing helmets.
Alright, so did they all look like they were from Middenheim as well, or various
No.
different places?
No, none of them did.
Alright.
They didn't look as though they were from Middenheim.
No.
Sorry.
No, they didn't.
The
10 knights, they looked. They came from. They've got different hair colour. There were different braid, which would look like a guy from Taal land. There was different fashions visible in their hair braiding and beards. Certain bone structure changes. Whereas these guys were very much that sort of that square cut Middenheimer look. The others had they were a wild mix, but they were full on. The chainmail coif was at the back, so it could be pulled forward, the helm to be placed on. They were fully kitted out for war. Whereas
Right,
these guys were in,
off-duty gear.
Yeah, soft boots, some shoes, a tunic, and this tabard's being put over the top. It is obviously a uniform.
Right. Okay. And they just disappeared from the sky, and the orator, they obviously separated and went elsewhere.
Yes. They walked up towards the goose.
Right. Well,
That's like the main road, so they could have went anywhere.
maybe so. This orator's house didn't look as though it was protected. No high walls,
Just
attack dogs, guards.
just the walls, the lock, and the door.
Terrace, semi-detached, detached.
Terrace.
A terrace.
Yeah, big terrace townhouse moving up the Western Road as far as the Freeburg estate is concerned. All identical as far as the looks are concerned, but big square townhouse.
Okay. So,
Problem, Ling.
mhm.
You scared of dogs?
Am I scared of dogs? Not especially. Not specifically. No more than any other wild animal.
Oh,
Not so much scared, but just chicken.
You scared of chickens?
I don't know. You're making a confession here. What's going on? Things have changed with me, my friend, over the years. You've now got something. You don't like chickens.
I have nothing against chickens.
It's good to know.
They had those beady
Unless
eyes.
they're hungry chickens, possessed chickens, demon chickens.
Beady eye demon chickens. Oh no.
Obviously, check to see how much brandy.
Demonic chickens. Now those are the ones you want to watch.
He's rambling away like a lunatic.
So, does this orator, does he have demon chickens?
And what did demon chickens look like?
Shop-a-dit-dit.
That's the hard thing about demon chickens. They look remarkably like all other chickens.
Better watch out for those demon chickens.
I'm thinking that if we don't want to go down below ground, into the Undercity, although I still have a hankering to visit that, given the fact that I sense that there's an underground portion to the Order of the Eyes barracks. Whether that actually is just a series of cells where the unfortunate are dragged and questioned, or whether that's also connected to the Undercity as well. That'd be something worthwhile looking at. But we have the orator by himself, unprotected, potentially. I think it's too soon to go and talk to him because I don't quite know what we're talking to him about, other than what do you know? But I have nothing correlate. I'm thinking still the Undercity. What's your thoughts?
I think we should find the orator's home, break in, and kick his head in.
Is that before or after we ask him questions?
It depends.
I hope it's before.
So we're going to break in and ask him what exactly.
I usually find the doors are usually unlocked when I'm nearby.
Okay, well, we go in and speak to him while kicking his head in. But what exactly are we asking him?
We don't have to go in kicking his head in, because that would be too soon. What we could do is ask questions about this Order of the Eye, find out how it all works, possibly some blueprints, find out how to get in and out without getting too much notice and being stabbed by many knights.
And demon chickens?
And demon chickens.
And then what do you propose to do with this orator, potential head of the order that we've now questioned thoroughly?
Of course, we would be in disguise from him. He would not know who we are.
We'd be in disguise?
Yes.
What, disguise as a wild man? I think it's too soon to do that. I think that's overplaying our hand. I don't know whether it makes any sense to break in to talk to him, to question him about it, and we don't actually know anything about what he is other than the fact that he burns people for being witches.
But you wanted us to find out information about the Order of the Eye.
What about the other 5? There's 5 more. He said there's 5 more witches. Did he not? If we could find about these guys.
You remember that early on in the day, the orator was saying we're burning 5 witches here, and Sigma has sent us 5 more who have given into the, through the weakness, have surrendered themselves, and have further pointed the finger as Burrows being their ringleader, who will be under trial this week. That was said earlier on at the fire before they chased you away.
Unless those in the rare surcoats.
Let's go and find out more about Burrows. I mean, we could.
I don't want to go and speak to I want to know where this orator was. If we have when we need to question him, but I still think we need to get in the barracks. That's the Undercity, the connection where these witches are. That's where we need to head to.
Just a quick. Remember that you've got the so the Undercity is not the sewers. Oberlander is not in charge of the Undercity. The Undercity is something that Renyir mentioned as a deeper cave somewhere. Yeah,
and I don't even know whether it's even connected to this barracks.
So the only reason that you even know about it is because Renyir just sort of went Undercity. And you were like, what?
Yeah, that's right.
And he went, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. There is nothing at all except Renyir dropping the word in the middle of a sentence that has the Undercity's got anything to do with anything. Manchester! What?
But because it says city, that he likes it. Undercity.
So I don't want you to think that there was some form of connection. There is nothing being said by anybody.
That's why I said there's a below ground portion to this barracks where the unfortunates potentially are being held, and whether this is connected to anything else, I don't know. Yeah. And it could be connected to the sewers, or it could be connected to the Undercity, or it could be it just could be the cellar where they torture people.
And the orator might know that.
Yes, exactly. Listen to the boy. He knows where he lives. We get past the demon chickens. We break in, but we don't have to break in. Renyir can get us in because doors apparently just open when he's around, because that's what he does. Without magic. So we don't.
If we're gonna do that, we'll have to go in strong on this guy because we don't actually know anything about him, and therefore we'd have to go in and get very personal very quickly, and then we've got a loose end. If it turns out to be, I'm not interested if it's just some sect that decides that they're going to kill a few people for some strange reason that they correlate with my father's brother. I'm not interested in that. I mean, humans do that to each other and have done for hundreds of years. I want to know whether this person's connected to anything darker. I guess that could work. I think we're overplaying our hand too soon to go and see the head of potentially this order, not knowing anything about them other than we've seen them burn someone, and the fact that for some reason they seemed sensitive to people of my powers or persuasions or talents.
Let's find out about Burrows, the ringleader, the so-called ringleader. We find him, question him.
And the orator might know who that is.
Now, only thing we need to figure out is what capacity are we going to go and see this orator? Are we going in as hard men? We're going to beat the shit out of him and get it out of him? Or are we just going to talk to him nicely, like friends?
Well, that's never going to work, is it?
We're not going to be his friends, are we?
Look at this.
We don't know anything about him.
We're going to beat him until it stops being funny.
Well, do we need to... This Burrows, this ringleader they've got in their barracks, do we need to find out who this person is?
I think knowing Burrows would be helpful. But
not via the Order of the Eye, via someone else. Who's Burrows? Who's this poor bugger who's been dragged into that? That's Burrows, the merchant person, or he's a this or he's a that, or he's a minor lord of some sort. Oh, right, okay. Maybe that's the way to go. Rather than just steam in and start beating the orator around the head with a stick. Can you find out who this Burrows is? Use your contacts. See who he might have been. See how that's connected. This may be a power play where he is actually just a merchantman, minor lord, and someone's basically he's a witch.
Because he's getting tortured.
Yeah. It's a good way of getting rid of it, isn't it? How do you get rid of your political and adversaries? Well, there's a team of witch hunters in town.
Bring in the Inquisition.
Yeah, exactly. Bring in the witch. Oh, he's a witch. Is he? Oh, right. Is he really? I don't know. But he's going to be dead shortly.
We could go in as witch hunters, or we could be mercenaries looking for Burrows.
You're talking about going into the barracks, pretending to be witch hunters.
No. No. That would be foolish.
So, can you find out through your contacts who this Burrows may be?
Did you not recall running away from knights?
So that's what I'm saying.
Are you planning to use Framlin as bait to go into the barracks?
No.
Framling's
definitely not using himself as bait.
I don't think you understand. Arnung does not want to go to the barracks where there are knights, more than one, and potential of stabbing increases.
So, why doesn't Arnung use his contacts and this small boy here to see if we can find out who this Burrows is from information gatherers, people who sell and acquire information that doesn't require us to go anywhere near a barracks.
Because Arnung has been asking too many questions and people are already starting to take notice. If we keep asking more questions, more people will take notice, and then that means there's every other conceivable chance of Arnung getting stabbed. We don't want that. Because some of us aren't immortal.
So what exactly is your purpose if you're going to sit here in the goose and not do anything?
What's that? Ah! Quick, read it!
Freeze the screen.
That opened up on the wrong window.
Sorry, I took a snapshot. I'm reading it now.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what happens? Oh shit!
Can you find out who this guy is?
Yes.
Without us having to go into either the head of their order, potentially this orator, or having to go in the barracks.
No, I don't want to go to the barracks. I think I made that very clear.
So, can you use your contacts to find out who this person may be, so that we don't have to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good.
So you're not able to sense other people like yourself?
Yeah. And I haven't sensed anything so far.
No, you haven't sensed anything? No? Okay.
Nothing in terms of these particular individuals. I want to know. Let's find out who this ringleader is. Let's find out whether we're talking about stuff that's to do with the void, the dark things, the things that go burble in the night, or whether this is just a power play in the internal politics of a city that I have no real interest in if it's just the internal politics of a city.
So the orator it is then.
So we find the orator.
Found the orator.
We found the orator. We go to his home. We break in. Or not break in. But actually we're going to have to break in because we can't really show our faces. So we're going to have to break in and pretend to be mercenaries looking for Burrows.
What?
What do you mean? It's just such an easy plan, Framling. Why don't you get it?
We're going to break in, pretending we're looking for Burrows, and then we're going to ask the orator who this Burrows is. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Can we not just ask around town who Burrows is?
Why are we going to ask around town when we know who to ask?
So we're going to completely tip our hand to this orator.
We will only tip our hand, Framling, if we show our hand. We're not showing our hand. We're just simply asking questions as strangers.
And then he just thinks, well, they seem quite friendly. The way they turned up in my front parlour, armed, and asking me a lot of questions. Maybe she could meet my other friends who are also armed. Hey, I'll bring them from the barracks.
We could just kill him.
Well, you could always make it like her Oberlander sent you.
I like the way the boy thinks, but that would probably get us stabbed.
So very quickly, just want to go over because I can see one person's confused. So Renyir, you obviously still know anyone and everyone that's within the city of interest.
But I can't seem to find that name that they're asking.
Not boroughs.
Yeah.
So obviously, at the end of the day, you're a 15-year-old kid that was just doing his job, right? You can't. Yeah. You are not a mastermind of knowledge, right? But what you do have is access to people who make a living in the city. The side of that is, though, you could say, well, there's this guy, or maybe there's this guy, da-da-da-da-da. Arnung is concerned about doing that because Oberland has already said you're looking into the graph, which is the thing that got on you on Oberlander's radar, because you were talking about Graf Ehrlich. And not because you were just in and about, right? You weren't, there was a bit of a slap on the wrist of, you're reaching out to the underworld without permission. But obviously there's a truce because he give you Renyir back and not in a bag. So that's why I'm assuming Arnung is a bit against sort of like on one, because I think they understand what you're getting at, Framling, which is basically instead of going to the people that we're trying to find out about, surely boroughs must be some common knowledge about this guy.
That's exactly right. There must be a fingerprint, a footprint of this guy. Someone must know something about him before he got dragged in there.
Yeah. So on one side you're going to have the service, which is what the general public believe, and all the rumours that go with it. The next level down would be if we go via the underworld contacts, which would obviously be through Renyir, because Arnung doesn't physically have any here. Yeah. But of course, would Arnung be like, have we got permission? Has Renyir been burned? It's one of those weird things for you to have to deal with. Who's Renyir's real friends? Are they going to stab him in the back for coming to knock on the back door, giving it a couple of 3 knocks, they open the door and go, piss off, little lad, you're a traitor? You don't know how all that's going to work. But Oberlander didn't specifically say, sod off. He just went, we're watching you. If they're watching you, presumably you could walk outside and go, old thieves, Renyir, do a hand signal for, want to talk. There's also, you're in the place where the head of the secret police likes to turn up on an almost daily basis. It's only a matter of time before Gotthard gets you. On the other side, of course, is Arnung wanting to, and I am a little bit confused about Arnung, if he's wanting to break in, so kick in the front door of the orator,
and break him,
slap him around, pretending to look for Burroughs, then ask him who Burroughs is, which is where I went a bit, not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, that's confused me.
So I understand why Arnung's a bit, because we could step on toes, but it is definitely an option, going through the Renyir situation. The other situation, of course, is that you simply go, well, we don't care. We want to know about this Order of the Eye, and Arnung's more of an action guy, which is kick in the door, give him a slap, find out what's going on, and then make a decision. If they're nothing, if they're no one, who gives a shit? See you later, we're off. If they are something, well, the guy disappears in the sewer, and then you just move on.
Yeah,
it's the whole, that doesn't tip
it's
your
the whole
hand.
Breaking in. We're looking for Burroughs. We're looking for Burroughs, right? Yeah. Who is he? What does he do? Why are you looking for him? I'd like to...
And that's where the mix-up comes in, right? Is if you're going to knock on the door and pretend to be somebody and get in on the guy, so you're blagging him to go, hey, we're kind of on the same side, and the guy's like, oh, right, okay, and just talks openly about it. Or are you going a grab and snatch, basically, get the guy, tie him up in his house, torture him for information, and then decide if you're going to kill him or not? Because ultimately, there's no forensics, there's no way that you kill this guy and walk off. When the Order comes looking for their orator, they're going to go, well, the orator's been killed. Yeah. Right, let's burn some more witches. Because as Renyir asked, you're not sensing anyone with power. They've got sight, but they haven't got power. You could sense each other, you'd be bouncing off each other at this point.
what I'm trying to avoid at this stage is just rushing in and just steaming into an unknown room of an order that can sense people like me to ask questions that could be perhaps asked by Renyir, or even to, wait until the head of the secret police forward and go like, we're in the marketplace, so there's some poor unfortunates got burnt, and they were talking about some guy called, they're going to do some guy called Burroughs. Who's this poor sod? And they was like, oh, were you interested in him? No, just passing the time, really. And that could be all the information we need from that conversation that doesn't involve any kicking of any doors and smashing of heads at this stage. And then we still keep that powder dry to say, right, we can go and do that later on. It's Wednesday night. There's now going on in the theatre. Let's go and beat some guy to death. But I don't know that. I don't want to do that as the first one. I don't see any value in that. I don't know anything about it. It seems going straight to the top of the tree potentially, or tipping our hand to these guys. If this guy's got nothing to do with them, we're going to then just stir up a hornet's nest of people who are sensitive to people like me, and get them a bit upset if it turned out that they're just a peripheral player in this big power game. Bear in mind, I want to know who's mucking around with one of my cities, and these guys might be nothing. They might just be peripheral. I don't want to steam in straight away. Just let's just deploy a bit of brain power initially. Renyir, go and ask someone, or we'll wait until Herr Oberlander turns up, and we'll ask him a question innocuously. I'm sure we can ask a question when he walks in, and we can play that game. I'm sure we can do that.
You'd be surprised if Oberlander walked in. Gotthard Goebbels.
Sorry, Gotthard.
Goebbels. Yeah, Goebbels. He's the guy that you'd expect to be in. Yeah. And that's Arnung's contact, obviously, at that point. Right. Arnung?
So do that as the first play. Then we hold off for the second one, which is if we're not getting any information and we get completely blanked, then we can still go and strong arm someone. Chop his fingers off. Whatever it is that you want to do.
Not get stabbed by knights.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to go all hard and, axe blazing. We could just
knock on his door. Knock on his door and say, "Hey, I hear you're head of a witch hunting order."
No, we could just down your basement. We could just casually bump into him in the road and say, "Oh, nice speech earlier on. I loved how you bent those, those witches. Great spectacle and all that." Hey,
got any more?
I heard I got any more. I mean,
when's the next showing?
I heard this Boros mentioned. It's someone I'm looking for. He owes me money, that kind of thing. I'm a trader, and maybe we can help each other out. I'll find him, send him your way. I'll get what I need.
You find him. He's got him.
Has he got him?
What? No, they've got him.
They've already got him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's what the saying is.
Okay. So
another 5 have identified Burroughs as their ringleader, who this very day is under our court. Is actually what they said at the fire.
So all this conversation's been for naught.
So, as a matter of interest, was that a literal thing? Because Framling's like, there's something under the courtyard.
Yeah.
But no. So they've got Burroughs. That was very clear.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we could say we come and get an audience with Boris. There's something that I need from him.
Wait a minute. So we're going to go to the witch hunters and say, "You've got our mate or our contact or our associate or someone we need to. Can we have a word with them?" Sure, come down here. If you just like to put your fingers in those traps over there, so you know this guy.
I'm not a witch.
Well.
That was
what they all say.
For you, from
if only one of those last 20 that have been burned had
said
thought.
But
hey,
I'm
not a witch. Oh, toasty.
They will never take you alive, Framling. Never take you alive.
Oh, and that's the other thing as well. I turn up, we're not a witch, and I'm glowing incandescently to these guys. I'm not a witch. No, what are you?
I think we should just go kick his door down and do what we were originally going to do.
No.
Why?
Let's
Traveling,
just
you've
find out
gotten
who.
so soft.
No, you've got so dense. You're thinking through your axe.
I don't have an axe.
He
There's the
carries a
problem.
hammer.
You're thinking with a hammer. You're being too direct. We don't even know who this. I'm not interested in witch hunters as a topic. It's not what I'm here for. I'm trying to piece together what's going on in one of my cities, and kicking in doors and smacking people around. That's level 2. We're only at level 1 at the moment. We're information gathering. We're trying to find out who the person is that we need to direct our assaults to. Not just randomly going around the city beating people up and shaking trees until something falls out, because then we will just Gotthard will be chasing us out of the town.
We're the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood never did level 1.
Well, the reason why the Brotherhood didn't do level 1 is because I did level 1 for the Brotherhood, and so did the various higher ups in the temple, and then they
Why they're all dead.
Yeah, but I'm not dead.
Yeah, because you're immortal and we can
Yeah.
die. And I'm trying to stop us from all dying. Me and the 15-year-old are going to die.
You're trying to stop us all from dying by steaming into the witch hunter's
No,
house, main
not
house,
all of
and
us, just me and him.
Try not to die.
Even I'm going to stop at that point. I'm trying to keep us alive by charging into the unknown house and attacking the unknown.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think he's
Using
trying
the
to keep you alive.
15-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep alive.
No,
Using
you
the
first.
15-year-old as a meat shield.
I don't want to go underground.
Yep.
I don't want to ask a question. I'd rather
Right.
just
I don't wanna
steam
go
into
to the
that place
barracks.
called Moria and see whether the Balrog's real. Oh, it turns out he was.
Right, so what we're getting at here is that these guys have obviously got a conversation at the bar. Arnung's caught up on not wanting to go to the sewers and not wanting to attack the barracks. Framling is trying to explain to him that's not what's been on the table ever.
No.
Meanwhile, right. Meanwhile, Renyir, you were given instruction by Framling to make contact. So unless you're just sitting there smiling, which means
Looking like this.
Framling might turn around and sit fight you. I'm assuming that you're going to get off and do something productive.
Yeah, I'm looking through information I've got, and I really can't figure out who I'm meant to be speaking to.
Right. Renyir,
Yeah, so I'm going
boy,
looking
is
for.
there any person that you know of that would confine his information on said Burros? Because this shit isn't working.
And who's Burros? Sounds like that's Spanish for donkey.
Yeah.
We need to know who.
We know who
is.
Burros is.
So the 2 pages that start with Middenheim, knowledge you
Yeah.
have from the city.
Yeah, I'm looking at them, and there's only 2 that kind of stand out for me.
Okay.
One is the Master of Disguise.
Ooh.
You go with that one.
He's going to go and look at a plant pot. Aha! Come here, Nigel.
Well, his organisation's thieves and that.
Why you?
I'm sensing that the JM's like, what? I'm going to bring in dice. I tell you.
It's hard times, you know. Hard times. I know I hired the 15-year-old.
Who's the other one?
So unfair.
It was Theodore, but I'm thinking I might go for Ludwig Gruber.
Kid's like, I've got to write so much crap now.
Okay. Which one?
I'll go for Ludwig Gruber.
Okay. Well, it's not far away. So, are you going to suggest or take Framling and Arnung with you?
Yes. Take us with you
How?
to Ludwig.
So you're sitting there, basically, Framling's went, look, reach out to somebody, and you go, I know just the guy.
No, I was actually looking. I just couldn't think. I just couldn't find the person I was looking for, or even think of the person I was looking for.
He plays a 15-year-old really well. So, Renyir, who is this Ludwig? Where can we find him?
He's in the Gelman cross site,
Gelmond.
the merchant districts.
And is he some sort of information gatherer? Is he a person who would know this sort of stuff?
He's responsible for smuggling, kidnapping, murders. People.
Doesn't sound like he's a information
Sounds like-
gatherer. He sounds like a smuggler / murderer / torturer.
I like how that list went. It just didn't get better.
It's just like, why would we go and speak to him?
Smuggler, murderer. Oh,
Kidnapper.
sounds
If
like
you don't want to go to
guy.
the orator, you can go there.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, oh, sorry. Didn't
Sorry.
upset the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
The laces of my boots are older than you, but
You don't wear boots. You wear
Do you wear
sandals.
boots?
You does wear boots?
I wear boots. Although you won't be able to see the boots at the moment because one of them will be shoved up your backside.
Ooh.
Think I'm scared of you, immortal man.
Show me
So
flame
is that
hands.
is that your jazz hands? Is that the best person you can go to for information? Is he a smuggling, murdering torturer? Oh, I could go and see Nigel, the person who deals in information. No, let's go for the killer.
Shall we just
He's not the worst one.
try to remember? We're getting the saw kicking the narrator's door, aren't we?
No, I'm not kicking
Literally
any.
the next scene.
Yeah, like,
Just fuck it. Attack the barracks. Set fire to that wagon. Push it into the front door. It's fucking easier.
this thinking hurts my head. Much easier just to pull out the sword and hit things.
Oh, where's it gone?
There must be someone in this city who deals in information, or is more likely just to have a casual chat about who's this Burroughs fella. May not, but rather than go and see the murdering, kidnapping torturer
He's a nice guy.
to his dogs.
Wonder if Phanimus knows.
Just ask the barman. What do you know about Burroughs? Oh yeah.
What? Is that why you're up at the bar getting the next round of milking?
Yeah.
What do you say? Do you know who Burroughs is?
Do you know?
He stopped talking again. He must have been swearing. His headset cut him off.
PG-13.
Hello.
Hello?
I thought he was talking to Famus, or whatever his name is.
Thanos! Oh, there he is again! Don't play
Not
music!
just-
Yeah, don't play music by Thanos! Ah! Half every time! Thanos!
One-way ticket to the blues, definitely.
Oh, freaking hell, man. Poop, poop.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to see the orator. It'll be a lot easier.
So,
What?
Whew.
I'm going to go to the bar and go and see Phanimus. I don't know who Thanos is and his clicky fingers. Well, I'm
Yeah, so Arnung's already there anyway, and you hear him go, so,
who's this poor bugger who's getting burnt?
we saw the witch hunters before. Heard the name Buso being the ringleaders of these witches. Do you know?
So,
what? Thanos' brother? Fucking busso.
Oh God!
A name came shrieking through the millennia and slapped him in the head like an Aaron thought. We've just Terry Pratchetted this, haven't we?
That's where Busa came from.
Oh God!
I am.
Oh. Well, you have to watch that cable there, mate. You're trapping it again. You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. I'm back.
Yeah.
I don't, well,
Okay,
you're a couple of thousand years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, Karadak. Hi.
Who's Busso?
No clue.
Never heard of him. That's an
you want-
oldie
do you want-
name.
Do you want another beer?
Burros.
He's
Burrows.
hiding something.
Burrows.
He's hiding
Burrows.
something.
Burros. So, witch hunter.
Bobbin.
It said
No, he's
Burros
bobbing.
is the ringleader of these witch hunters. Shut up!
What? You keep on miming at me?
What?
You woke up to the bar.
I walk
Do you
into the
know-
bar.
Right. So the witch hunters. Fatimus is like, what? And then you walk over, and then you're like, so anyway. And he's like, Arnung, stop that shit. You wound us up last time doing that. Mid-sentence, you keep on making us think I've gone deaf. Here's a pint.
Thank you. So, witches. We were there earlier. Saw the birding.
Witches.
Fantastic spectacle. They're saying something
it's not to my
about the. What?
It's not to my liking.
Yeah, me neither. It was quite sad, actually.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I really like witches.
Sad in a fun way, sort of. Anyway,
Sick.
so Burros. I was going to say Busu again. Burros.
Ah, yeah.
So who's this Burros guy? They say he's the ringleader.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Do you know, who is he?
Well, if you believe these burners, he's from the old country. Some kind of high witch. Open some kind of den where there was darkness and rituals and worship of the void gods.
What old country?
Midland. You know, down near the Talabek borders and near Holland.
Oh, right. From the sticks.
Yeah. Apparently he got himself in the city. If you believe everything that's being said, he's got a skin like a lizard, all scaly and cracked. He's got claws for fingers. Can anybody else hear that?
Yeah, it's a cat.
Okay, they're fine.
Or is it?
No.
It's just the thing upstairs.
But if it's the guy I think of, then, well, he wasn't like that. You know, old Blaine, just a guy that you'd, he was good with the animals. He good with your plants. You know, kept himself a nice little vegetable garden up at the Freeburg there. Yeah, where the actual burnings are taking place. I think they just found somebody close by so they could oust him, blame everything on him, and then stick one of their own in there. No, yeah. He was a guy that people from the country would come up and see, if the horse was coming up lame. He was, you've got an injured pet. It was good with animals and plants.
Okay.
But they reckon that's dark magic. But hey, what do I know? I just run a bar.
This is this Burrows fella that you said.
Yeah, had a place just down
So-
from here, just down in the Freeburg.
So he's not from the sticks, or he's been here a while. He did come from the sticks.
Well, if it's Blaine Burrows, now he disappeared, and then that guy that gives all the speeches, gets everybody all riled up. He lives in his house now. If that's Blaine Burrows. Now, Burrows is obviously a fairly common name, but they reckon he's a guy that they've tracked from the country. So, but Blaine
Right.
went missing at the same time as this guy got himself a new house.
And his new house is Blaine's old house.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, he used to come in here quite often. He's a good man. You know, kept to himself. A little bit. Well, you know what those Taal people are like. Let's be honest. You know, they're not all Rickens. You know, they're all a bit weird. You know, and
What, manly and worldly wise?
Not washed.
well, you know,
Said the man,
always,
covered in horse shit.
you know, always hands in the ground. You know, worshipping the trees.
Things have suddenly just got very awkward.
I'll take my beer away. What?
Oh.
Sit back in the booth.
Yep.
Thank you, Farmus.
No problem. Yep, head back to the booth.
I'm not paying for this, by the way.
No, I never pay for it.
Renyir's
Or
like,
drinks as well.
right! Renyir's like, right! I've got someone that kidnaps kids! No! Oh!
No,
So-
no.
Come in
Alright,
dragging some sort of demon dog. I've got this! He says he
I've
knows
got
what's
the demon
going on.
chicken. I found these demon chickens.
So, we now
Sort of-
know who Blaine is.
Well, we have a suggestion that Burroughs may be this Blaine character, who may be some sort of high-level vet.
What?
Well, you know,
What is
he
this
was feeding
vet
blood
you
to
speak
his
of?
cat. He was feeding blood to his cat. I heard him say just the other day, drink your bloody milk!
Cats.
So they've ousted him, potentially the same guy, taken his house, and now he'd be down in this. I think we need to go and talk to this person. I think we need to go
Go and lock his doors.
and say, but we go in and to this barracks via maybe it's the sewers. See if we can talk to this Burroughs character. No, you still not think that's a good idea?
No.
Your idea would be what?
We go to Boris's house,
Mm-hmm.
break in, and I think we should just kill the orator.
Just kill him.
Just be gone.
Before
with it.
find out
One-
anything,
just-
just snap.
Oh no, we'll find out information first, of course, because that'll just be pointless.
What are the information? Where are we going to get from?
About the barracks. How to get in.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's over there.
Oh, we know where it is. I just don't want to go through the front door.
Well, we can go into the sewers.
How do you know the sewers are connected?
Well, where do you think their shit goes?
I ain't going through that shit.
The toilet.
Renyir said last week the main sewers connect straight to the barracks.
He did say that.
He did.
Okay.
Damn.
Thanks, Renyir.
How do you know?
Shit.
Well, I told you yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Oh yes, of course.
See, hey, what's that over there, Renyir? What?
Yeah.
And,
So he did tell
and
me.
sleep,
so
Renyir. Sleep.
I still think there's no
I
harm.
take
to
my
be-
cue to leave.
Shut up. Just break into the house
What?
of the raider.
What?
You broke up. You must have sworn.
What? I'm literally
Filling
not
with
swearing.
this.
You're
What's
literally
this?
going.
Mike has got against me. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No.
Shut up, you.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't think there can be any harm done, Ramling, to
Mhm.
go to the narrator's house.
Mm. And
Why do you care so much about the orator? Look, we
I
haven't
don't care about him at all.
Exactly. So what? One less little shit on the stain of this place that we're in, which is called what?
But I don't spend my time going around just randomly beating, killing, torturing just because I can't think straight. I like to try and think about what I'm doing, then we act.
It's not what you
Not
did.
what he says in his drunken stupor.
It's not what the history says.
Well, I was a different guy back then. It's my teenage years.
Okay, look.
You know,
I'll go to the barracks.
My mid 400s.
I will go to the barracks with you, but just please let me go to the orator's house.
So, what's your plan? Your plan is to.
I don't ask for a lot, Framling. I just want to go to the orator's house.
And
Just let me go to the orator's house.
Go to the orator's house. I'll stay here and guard the bar.
You give me permission to go to the orator's house.
I don't quite know why you're going to his house, other than to kill him. In fact, it's inevitable. But then you're going to kill him. You simply are going to kill him, aren't you? There's no other way. You're not going to leave him alive.
Well, might just make him stop breathing, but hey.
If he dies, it's
not an if.
It'll be his fault.
The gods willing.
You could just enter his mind.
No. No, that's not what I do.
You can do that.
Shut up, boy. Drink this.
No.
What? He can do that? Cling film. No. Bacon foil.
Yeah. Tin foil on his head.
He can do that!
Just rushes out and gets himself a horse's shoe.
Can you wipe minds as well?
I mean, he took poor Blaine's house.
It's poor Blaine now.
Poor Blaine.
We don't actually know that, but
This is for Blaine.
Revenge Blaine movement.
this is for Blaine.
The Order of Blaine.
He's still alive. You don't have
is.
to do revenge. He's still there.
We are the Order of Blaine.
Don't worry, Blaine. We'll avenge you. I'm still here. No, sweet Blaine. We will look after your legacy. I'm not dead. I can still be. No, sweet poor Blaine. We will fight for you. I'm here.
So after you've revenged him, you then go through the sewers, get into the barracks, and find he's been burnt. He's literally on fire, screaming as you walk in the room. Oh. And then that's when Arnung's Lord Lodger goes, "Revenge is successful."
See, we got early revenging.
We did.
He's still screaming. We're that quick.
We could just walk past his house and see what's happening. Before
just casually, for a minute, walking past. The guy.
Whoops! See, I just fell into the front door.
Well, it is a very, very busy street. There is a lot of businesses there. There are entertainers. You can dilly-dally. You can dilly-dally on the street. It's bustling, it's obviously it's got householders, but there's also lackeys, various sorts, all good about the business. You've got being the area that it's in, Renyir. Obviously, it's full of scholars and students.
Yep.
There's bookshops there, cafes. At this time of day, buskers on the street, entertainers. It is a very busy. It's one of the main roads. Perversely, at this time of day, it will be crowded.
So we can go in there and kick the front door in. Is that what you're saying? Arnung?
The door's not locked. It's open.
So that was Renyir's suggestion of let's go and have a look at the house. Then yeah, you could easily do that. In Renyir's opinion, you've never been on the street.
So I'm just now cancelling the idea that we're going to do some sort of raid on the head of the witch killer's order in a busy street.
I would have thought the head of the order would be somebody with your type of talents.
What are his talents? I think he knows too much, Renyir. I think we just kill him now.
Are you talking about Framling?
What are we talking about now? Because I'm getting angry now. Framling's like,
yes.
To the orators.
I think Renyir's asking too many questions.
Oh, Renyir. See, what
Renyir,
what Arnung just said there got the GM and Framling going. I think he knows too much. Let's just kill him now. What? Because it looked like you were talking about Framling.
Yeah, it did.
Renyir, I'm talking about Renyir.
Ah.
Renyir sat there going, "You're talking about killing me."
You sent me to this city to find out stuff for you, and now that I know stuff, yeah, you know too much. Time to die. This is a shit job.
Pays well.
I wish I got on the boat in the end.
I
Right.
don't think going to this guy's house in the middle of the day on a busy street, and whether entering by applying a sturdy foot or by other means, and then proceeding to ask questions through the butt of a hammer in the open daytime, and then just casually walking out going, there's nothing to see here, just 3 men covered in blood. And
I don't even have a hammer.
Right, okay, but I think that I don't know that that's a good idea. What say you?
What say I?
I don't know, what do you say?
Well, what's your idea? Go to the sewers.
Well,
Which is patrolled by sewer jacks.
Well, it's not a busy street. Do we not want to go and see if we can speak to Burroughs, as opposed to the head of the order, who may have stolen his
In
house?
the barracks.
But we don't know if the orator is the head of the order, or if he's just their spokesman.
But he's in Burroughs' house potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So we got option 1. Break into Burroughs' house.
Right.
Easy option.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of daytime though.
Listen. Okay. So we just say hypothetically, we get in,
Uh huh.
we question him,
Gently.
the orator gently, find out more about the ins and outs of the workings of the Order of the Eye.
You're of the eye.
Order of the Eye. Order of the Eye.
Aye.
Eye.
Kill him.
Find out the Order of the Eye, and then kill him. Be done with him. And then,
Right.
and then not only will there be one less Order of the Eye, we hopefully would gain some more inside knowledge on, how the place runs, operated, how many knights are there.
Right. Also, we've just gone in and killed someone who's a member of the Order of the Eye. Seen leaving the house. Well, there was that 3 blokes. What, one small lad, that wild man, covered in gore. During the daytime when there's a lot of screaming going on. I wonder who killed him.
Wasn't me. I was never there.
I'm not a witch.
I'm
All
not a
right,
witch.
fair enough.
You're the
Fair enough.
witch.
Or you can wait and do it at night.
Oh, we could do it at night.
So
If
that's
that makes
option
you feel
1.
happy.
So that's
That's
option 1. Option 2 is go to the sewers, into the barracks, which we know nothing about. Don't know how many nights there are, and we're
At
going
night.
in there completely blind.
Well,
What
we're
we're going
going
to do
the
when
other
we're in the barracks? Are we just going to kill them all one by one?
Well, maybe we can rescue this Burroughs.
You want to rescue Burroughs? We don't know where Burroughs is.
He's
You
in
don't
the
know what he
barracks.
looks like.
We don't know what he looks like.
Well, the orator might know what he looks like.
Can't you do that? See things through your mind.
Large spliff.
Yeah, it's time. Bring out the joint.
What? See things with your mind?
Yeah, we would do after that, yeah.
Here you go, boy. Drink this.
Every 20 minutes or so. He can do that? Shut up, man.
You know too much. Too much.
Stop saying so much.
They think I was always broken.
Framling's going to go into the bar and get another drink and have a think about this away from...
Okay. So Renyir, I think he likes our idea.
I'll show you the way then. Let's go.
So
I brought this devil dog. He might know something. Put it away. Don't need it anymore.
So what you're suggesting, Renyir, is while he's thinking, we should just carry out said task and bring him the good news once we return.
Is this what you're thinking? But you're using me as your scapegoat.
Absolutely, yes.
Fair play. Let's go then.
Let's go. Bye, Framling.
I'm at the bar still thinking, like, tactically, what's the best way of not overplaying ourselves? Think of the big picture. And I turn around and they're not there.
Yeah.
It's like, who will rid me of this troublesome priest? No, I didn't mean go around and kill him.
The corner got far.
Billy Pig's death.
And what actually happens is they see you running after them. He goes, shit, the demigod's after us. So they start running. The 6 patrolmen go, and then you bite.
A large crowd.
There's gonna be a fight.
Yeah. Do you know what? And the next scene's gonna be us like this.
Yes. I'm not
So
awake.
what happened?
We're not witches.
We're not quite sure, but a very large group of angry people attacked Burroughs' house and burnt it to the ground. We've got the 3 ringleaders, and we think it started off as a bar fight at the Goose. So we've got Fanimus as well. Fuck us! It kind of got out of hand. There was even 6 watchmen in amongst them stabbing the chickens.
Oh.
Yeah, we've arrested these 3. The 15-year-old seems to be far too drunk for his age.
And knows too much.
The big scarred fella's ranting and raving about the demigods after him. And, well, there's this crazy old sort of the Norseman thing with tattoos everywhere. So far, 3 people have had their brains leaked through their noses. You can do that!
Anything that's not normal, you could do that as well.
Great. I'm going to go... So if they've left...
Yep.
I'm going to...
Study the crowd.
Be there in spirit.
Going to basically go back to my room and be there in spirit.
Excellent.
I'm going to do the old astral projection. And even though they won't be able to hear me unless I use a lot of effort, I'm going to be cursing their stupidity as I follow them down the road.
And that lot of effort will shatter windows and have dogs running. Plants will wilt in the box.
Yeah.
And all that came out was wanker!
And then might follow that all the way back to you.
Did somebody just hear wanker really loudly? Yeah. Right. Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Right. You follow Renyir up the street. The conversation lasted a lot longer than I possibly think you realised. It's getting until 8. The sun is starting to dip down, and some of the streets are a lot darker because of the high-rise buildings around you. You travel in the southerly direction till you get to the main crossroads and then head west. Well before you get there, Renyir's able to identify the house for you. In this area here, even at this time of day, you see that there's very little difference beyond it being darker. The Freeburg is still alive. There's entertainers are now on the streets themselves, and even though various shops and cafes have been closed up, the street seems to have filled up with revelers, entertainers, people doing drawings, and basically playing music. The place is pretty much as busy as it was during the day. You have not seen a patrol in the last 20 minutes it's taken you to get here, and there is still none in sight as you approach the location of the property. But you can clearly see which one it is. One of the lampposts outside is being lit by a passing street lighter.
Which?
Which? There's a body burning on it. I wonder, do you think it's anything to do with them? And you can see the flickering of fire on the inside of the house itself. Not a fire, I'm talking crap. Possible candlelight based on the way that it flickers across the thin net curtains. But the building looks to have windows on either side of a wide blue painted heavy timber door.
Right.
So this is it, Renyir.
Yep. And you said the top floor's got the light on, yeah?
No, lower right.
Lower right.
Right hand side of the door, the lounge that you saw earlier. He's drawn the net curtains, but as you get closer, you should still be able to see inside because he hasn't drawn the night curtains, the thicker ones.
Yeah. Okay. Is the gate to the is it in a compound or is it just the door?
Nope, it's a door on the couple of, a single step onto a wide paving path, which is clean and swept as you would expect for this area of the city.
And there's no back entrance to this place. I walked around.
Well, you hadn't.
I'll have a quick walk around.
Right, what are you doing, Arnung?
Just waiting for him to do his little thing.
So you
find me a way in.
Find your way in. Or for him to find your way in. So you get yourself a little packet of chips and a little drink and try some ratwurst. Basically, as you stand there, you can see a woman slapping her husband on the shoulder and shouting at him for being out yet again, having a drink, and him trying to refute the accusation, though his demeanour does show him to be drunk. You see men and women passing by hand in hand, and as the sun starts to dip and the candle light, the gas lights around take on the strain, it's a very much a world apart from Nordland. Not only being in a city, but being in this area of the city, and the warmth is still on the stones, and you're just having yourself a relaxing drink. There's very little there's no feeling of threat, which you're so accustomed in your life, being even on the streets of Nordland. It takes about 20 minutes before Renyir is able to do a full turn and walk around. And yes, there is these houses do have a backyard, small though it is, fenced and gated, and it looks like from what you could see there is a lower entrance, and each of these houses also has stone stairs leading up to a next floor.
Okay. I signal them for stay there, then I'll go back round to the lower entrance.
Okay. Right, so you're back in the alleyway. You get to the back of the house, having counted your way down there. You're confident that this is the back of the house, of Burroughs' house. Yeah.
Yeah.
You slip through the gate.
Yeah. Quietly slip through the gate.
You slip through the gate, and the gate inside. It's a fairly modest, but worth its a massive amount in Middenheim with its space issues. There's an allotment. Vegetable gardens and fruit have been built up into these sort of wooden boxed areas, for each one indicating a different growth. However, they are all rotted away. The smell of rotting vegetation, the buzz of flies that have on feeding off the meat of the veg. They've been left to rot in their boxes, but this was clearly a well-tended, quite large enterprise.
Yeah.
But it's now all gone to rot or wild. Weeds now choke what was once obviously, a well-established vegetable garden.
And I'll slowly make my way to the lower door.
Okay, the lower door is underneath the main stone stairs. No real difficulty for you.
And then quietly go in.
Yep. Okay. As you go inside, you enter the kitchen. Initially, large stone, white painted basin with counters. A couple of cupboards, you can see crockery, plates, that sort of thing are visible. To the right is a heavy door that would indicate the pantry, with an open door leading into the passageway directly opposite, which you can see the front door and the lights of the street shining through.
Okay, so I'll make sure the door I've just come in is closed.
Yep.
Like gently closing it.
Mhm.
And I slowly make my way through
through the kitchen door, immediately on your left is another door that leads into a lounge or living room of some kind. You can see that there's plush carpets on the floor, 2 heavy leather settees. You can see bookshelves, a writing table, and the top of someone's head. You can see the auburn brown hair of somebody sitting on the leather seat with his back to you.
So it's just the one person was.
One.
Yeah, just one. And slowly make my way across to the front door.
Okay, you pass towards the front door. The stairs have become visible on the right-hand side, leading up to the top of the property. You stand at the large front door.
Is there a window next to the door, by the way?
There is, yep.
I try and quietly. I check to see if the door's handle's locked.
It is locked from the inside. You can
Yeah.
see the key is inside the lock.
Right, and just gently turn the key.
Okay. You quietly turn the key. It makes
Yeah.
a subtle click that echoes in your mind, but there is no sound of different breathing. There's no snort or comes from the other room.
Yeah, and then going to the window.
Mhm.
Waiting to I'll look out the window, see if Arnung gets, if I get his attention.
Completely oblivious. You remember that you said, "Wait here until I come back for you." So he's not staring at the house to give his position away.
Okay. So,
Murph,
which way is he looking?
Because, Arnung, I'm assuming that you're not going to just stand there in the street staring
No.
at your target house.
No, no.
With a single clarity, sharpening your knife.
Just there with a stone.
So he's blending in. He's a big man, but he's blending in with the onlookers and just, nonchalantly having a drink, eating some chips, waiting for you to come back from.
Yep.
I don't know if chips were invented in this period, but they are in
They are
Games
now.
Workshop. Yep. But because it's Games Workshop, they're chipes.
Yeah. Fush and chipes.
Right.
I know you realise, obviously, you're used to working alone, and walking off without actually explaining your plan would probably have been something that you'll try not to do in the future.
Yeah. No, I was just hoping I could catch his attention just by the off chance, but obviously not. So,
Hello.
how does this window open?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. No.
No.
Right.
While at the window,
Yeah.
Looking, he does happen to glance over, and you see Renyir apparently trapped inside the house, frantically trying to get out the window.
I was just checking to see if it opens. If it don't.
Oh shit!
I'm coming!
And that's how it began. The Great Fire of
Oh,
Middenheim.
come on, does he look? From my perspective, does he look trapped? Does he look like
No.
he's in distress?
No, it doesn't look like he's in distress.
I just wave him over. Then I go into I creep into the next room.
Okay. So what you see is him go, and then the curtain goes back into place,
Okay. I walk over.
and stand there patiently.
Yeah. What do I do? He just said, "Come over." I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Try the door.
So
Right, the door opens. Huh? Hello?
rush in.
Well, you're already in that room.
Blaine?
Right,
Blaine.
so you're already in here. So, huh? Hello? Blaine turns around. There's Renyir.
I rush over to him,
I-
put a knife to his neck.
I understand what's going to happen now. You see, Arnung now charges in and saves the guy's life from this armed robber. He happened to be visiting Blaine to kill the witch.
Absolutely.
And saved him from this witch burning
I
murderer.
apprehend this thief.
Yeah. So anyway, you hear, hello? And you go, Blaine. And then you hear this sort of a sharp intake of breath. And
From who?
silence. You don't know.
Oh.
You can close the door now.
Close the door.
Okay. You step into the lounge and you see that the man is in a partial, sort of out as if he was getting up out of his chair, and he has Renyir here with a dagger to his throat.
Oh,
You may want to close the curtains, Arnung.
It's just gonna get messy.
You turn around and you hear 30 people outside go, "Ah!" Oh,
don't
man.
act like you know me. You don't know me.
Oh, man. Yeah, so you quickly pull the night curtains across the window.
I draw the. Pull the curtains apart. Draw the curtains.
Now
the curtains.
loads of people all go, "What's that?" Is he trying to give warning?
SOS.
That's the classic signal to the watch. Help! Help!
The guy is not much taller than Renyir, and Renyir's not exactly known for his height, with a slightly bigger build going around near the midriff. In his 40s, clean shaven, hair is well maintained into a short bun at the back. Clothing is of the highest expense, and he has a clear, unadulterated look of absolute fear on his face, having the knife to his throat. On the floor, you could see a book has fallen from his lap. Clearly, he was reading when Renyir put the knife to his throat. Or when the door opened and you shouted Blaine.
You're not Blaine.
No, I'm not Blaine. There's a misunderstanding. I'm Kunshauser.
He's a what? Sorry, that came. He's a what?
I'm Kunshauser.
Kunz Hauser.
Said the ethereal voice from nowhere. You what? You can do that?
No. Blaine was taken into custody. I'm caring for his house.
Custody for what?
Accusations of witchcraft and
Accusations.
so of witchcraft and consorting with void creatures.
So you're not really looking after his house. You're really just keeping it.
Is there? Yes, I'm looking after it.
Well, he's going to die, isn't he?
Well, if he's found guilty, of course,
Everyone that goes out of there is found guilty.
because they're that good at what they do. Sigma directs them.
I thought it was Ulrich.
You're wrong. It's they're of Sigma. That is who they have sworn their allegiance to, their oaths.
But you had both sigils when talking.
Of course,
I think
you are my.
I think
what?
he's referencing to Blaine.
You're referencing Blaine. I'm sorry.
Referencing.
Who?
Who are you talking about? Who's Sigma? Who's
What?
not who's Sigma? I know who
Who's
Sigma
Sigma?
is.
How many seats are in here?
2 large couches.
You may want to take a seat over there, Arnung. Rest your head for a bit.
This is the city of the White Wolf. We of course pay homage to Ulrich. It is, after all, his city. But Sigma, blessed be his name, founder of the Empire, was crowned and become a deity through Ulrich. So we will always recognize Ulrich's power, but Sigma is who they swore allegiance to.
Ah.
Interesting.
How long has he been in torture?
Burroughs, he was one of the first arrested. 2-3 moons ago.
He's
He
still
was
alive?
one of the first arrested, and you just said all 5 pointed to him as the leader.
Everyone that's been arrested has always been one of his many large, expansive covens. The Knights are slowly dismantling his power base here.
Wait, is everyone that's you?
How many nights are we talking?
Uh,
Not passed, as in
in 3
station.
months. About
Shut up,
90.
Renyir. I want to know how many nights there are.
You just
in
said
a,
3
in a
months.
month? How many nights in a month? It depends on the month.
Like, oh, I'm gonna die.
How many nights are stationed in the barracks?
How many nights?
10. 10 in the squire attendance.
Squires?
Well, of course, the knights.
So there are 10 stationed at the barracks.
And they're squires.
Yes.
So 20.
No. There are only there are only 6 squires. They don't get 1 each.
I don't know.
Can I sit down? What is this? Surely we could just discuss this. There's no need for a dagger. Admittedly, you've broken into the home I'm caring for, but
The doors were unlocked, and the person that you're caring for is getting tortured. So I don't think you're really caring for it, are you?
I keep it clean and nobody else has broken into it. I think that's...
It's because you don't have a place to live.
Who are
in here,
you?
does it? Apart from the barracks.
No, this is allocated to me for my work for the knighthood.
Mm.
Interesting. So tell me more about the barracks.
What do you wish to know?
Everything.
Could you be specific? I don't understand what you're after.
How good are you at drawing?
Terrible.
Like complete blueprints to this barracks.
What's a blueprint?
It means I want a drawing to the barracks.
You want a
I
drawing
want to know
from
how to
here
get
to the
in. I want to know
barracks?
how to get out. There's
Through the
any
front
secret
door?
passages, how many people are there?
I don't know.
Where? No?
There's a front door. There's a door for the horses. There's the knights. There's the grand. There's the Lord Commander. There's the knights. There's the scribes, the squires, the torturers. Of course, the inmates. But I don't know how many.
Who are the ones that wear the red surcoats?
They're the torturers. They are trained in the art of persuasion.
How does one join the order?
You're wrong. Oh, any jobs going?
Any vacancies?
I don't know. I'm just a spokesperson. I was recruited from Middenheim when they arrived.
Oh, right. Seems good. Seems fair. However...
Is he sitting down, by the way, now?
Well, if you've let him, if you've relaxed the knife to his throat, then he's sat
I've
down.
just like moved it down so he can sit down.
Yeah. I mean, his eyes are wide, he's gone pale, there's every sign of absolute terror on his face.
Absolutely.
When he's talking, he's dribbling over his words, everything.
Do you have a name?
Yes.
Cunts.
Oh yeah, Cunts, that's it. Cunts. Cunts. So, listen here, Cunts.
For now.
There is a very high possibility that you will be dying today.
Why? Why? I've done nothing. It's just a job. I'll leave now.
The thing is, I think you're a witch.
What?
Yes, you're a witch. You practice the dark arts. Therefore, you need to be brutally murdered by me.
That's not how this works. Who are you?
I am the Order of Burrows.
The Order of Burrows? What? You're the Order of the highest accused
It sounded
witch.
something like Monty Python's The Order of Burrows.
You haven't thought this through, have you, Arnung?
Shut up, you. You're 15. What do you know? How many people have you tortured?
This guy must be absolutely bricking it, going, what's going on here?
How many have you sent me to kill?
Nobody?
Are you sure?
What kind of animal do you think I am? If I was to kill somebody, I would go in and do it myself, Renyir. I don't need you. I know your
Please.
names now.
Please.
I don't want to know your names. Shit, man. The thing is, he now knows our names. So
No, I
we're gonna
don't.
have to
You've
kill him
still
anyway.
You've just told them your names, said the disembodied voice.
But you said he was
Please.
dying, so it doesn't really matter if he
But there's
knows our
no,
name.
why? It's just a job.
It isn't just job. Your job sucks.
It pays well. I got a nice house.
How much does it pay?
Houses.
He's still going for this recruitment shit. Torture, good pay, house.
Medic, healthcare.
Medic.
What's healthcare?
It's
It's something
It's-
you would have.
it's something you're gonna need.
Please. I don't know what this is all about.
Okay.
What can I do to make this all right?
I just wanted to know more about the order. Order
right.
of the Eye. So you're based in.
Sir
So
Lucas
are you based
Werns
in
is
Carroburg?
I'm from Middenheim. I've told
the
you
order.
this.
The
Yes.
Order of the Eye.
Yes.
The Order of the Eye.
Yes, they're from Carroburg. Sir Lucas Werns, he's the Lord Commander. He came with tonight, and his squires. They came with. They recruited scribes from the local area.
What was his name? Lucas what?
Ones.
Werns.
Words.
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 Yes.
That's what I said.
You said words.
Words.
There is nothing else to say. They are a knightly order sanctioned by the emperor and his advisor and the Grand Theogenist.
Who was this advisor?
Anton Sachs.
And he's the advisor of the Emperor.
Yes.
Mm.
They were sent here to break the stronghold of the witch upon Middenland, and they have. I've heard them talk. They're after Burrows because he is the most senior witch they've found here, but he answers to someone called Ulikor, and that's who they are searching for.
Uli.
Ulikor?
Oh.
But they have yet to uncover him, but they feel that they are close.
Uli.
Yes, Ulikor, apparently he's an all-powerful void worshipper. He has made dark pacts with the dark powers, and it is their solemn mission with the light of Sigma to break his power.
Okay. This is a wonderful story.
That's all I know.
Now all we need to know is how do we get to Blaine?
He's in the cellars. He's in the dungeon. It was a merchant house building. Inside, I'm not allowed down there. There's a set of stairs that leads upstairs to the living quarters. Beside that is stairs leading down. It goes down into the dungeon below the cells. And that's where Blaine and the other prisoners are kept until they accept Sigma's light, beg for forgiveness, and confess to their sins.
So then, are they held in the barracks or the merchant house?
No, the merchant house. It was a merchant house. It's now a
It was the
barracks.
merchant house.
It's the
Yeah.
knight's barracks.
Okay. And he's still alive.
Yes, he won't break. He is holding strong to his void pacts. He will not give up Ulikor, no matter what they've done to him. He is a strong man, but he weakens. He says that he's not a witch, which we obviously know that's what they all say. That's the first thing they say. But he proclaims to be a follower of Taal, but there's no evidence for that. I mean, he said to look to his garden in a city where vegetables won't grow, and yet if you look outside, there's nothing but rot. Which is the sign of the witch, because everything rots in the presence of witches.
But you have to have stuff there that have grown to rot this, don't you?
You seem to have
I don't know.
something
I'm
against
not
Taal.
I'm not a physician. I don't know. I don't know about growing things. I have nothing against Taal. He's the ancestor god. He's the father god. Brother of Ulrich.
Well, you're going to have to speak to more shortly.
Why?
Because you're going to die.
Why?
Because I said so. And you're a witch.
I'm not. That makes no sense.
Makes every sense. How does it make whatever you said make any sense? You just make your own rules up.
No, I do it. It's just a job.
It's
You
a
talk
rubbish
to
job.
everyone?
You're going to regret the day you took this job.
I do now.
Good.
Today's the day.
Why?
So what are we going to say? Confess.
To
Confess
what?
your sins. Confess your sins.
To who? Who are you?
I am...
Crazy.
What?
What?
He suddenly scrabbles up from his chair, makes a dart for the
But
door, screaming
knife
at
to
the
his
top,
throat.
Grab him.
screaming at the top of his lungs.
I grab him as he
Right.
runs.
You grab him.
Before he runs, I grab him and throw him through onto the floor.
He's
Very heavy.
help! Help me!
No,
Please!
I throw him to the
help
floor.
Me!
Put my
Help
mouth
me!
on.
What?
Put my mouth against his. Oh yeah,
And we'll leave it there. as Arnung goes in for a little bit of rapey and a kiss.
Wait, is that lonely on him?
Is that how he goes out? Shh. Shh.
It's all right, my love.
Tongue in his throat.
Oh, this is we didn't know anything about this, Arden.
This is how they do it in Bretonia.
On dark
No,
the old age.
No, I just wanted to
Seen
say that.
things.
Yeah.
Part of you did. Clearly, part of an inner part of you did want to say that.
Thing is, he actually stopped, and then he continued, and that it did. Yep. I'm just fuck it. I'm there.
He went,
I've gone too far. I don't know why I'm doing this. You're so attractive.
in for a penny, in for a pound.
I love you. What? Please don't kill me. I love you. Bear in mind, his face has been slashed in half. And he's a 60-year-old man. Come on.
Oh no.
Oh, Les is going to play well.
You know
I'm
what?
sitting back in my hotel room like,
That went in a different direction suddenly.
I feel like I don't want to watch anymore now.
I'm just going back to the garden.
Give him a moment.
I can't believe I said that. I didn't even know why.
I put my mouth over his. That'll stop him screaming. Sorry, I just panicked.
Could have been a lot worse.
His tongue slipped. The guy's screaming, "Please don't kill me!" And what did he do? Well, I panicked, so I kissed him.
I feel so free in my own body now. It's what I've always wanted to be.
But I should be like.
At least my character only has to live with 4.
Hey, I tell you, you can tell it's been a long time since Arnung. Now you understand why I was so scared of him. What happens? Well, he might kidnap you. Does he torture you? No,
no.
no. If he really likes you.
It's not a hammer, that's his weapon.
Oh God!
So how does Arnung command such loyalty amongst the province of the north?
Fight for the asses. Open mouth kisses for the men.
In dark circles, he's known as the Humiliator.
Do what I want, or what? I'll kiss you. What?
Oh, excellent!
This is just clearly a normal thing.
It really isn't.
So after you lean in, do you stop yourself at the last moment, or do you just think fuck it?
Do you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't. Let's just go with it.
You're the one who's going with it. Or going for it.
Let's go for it.
Right. So Renyir, basically the guy screams. He makes a scramble for the door. Arnung gets him in what you think is a rugby tackle, but it turns out to be an embrace. As he roughly throws him to the floor, dives on top of him. And kisses him. You stand there with your knife.
You can hear one-way ticket. One way.
Meanwhile, you stand there with your knife, like,
Blow out the candle and lock the doors.
So
And
you've shocked him.
I leave the room and close the door behind me.
So you've definitely shocked him enough to that he goes silent. He's got stubble rash.
And a bit of saliva as you come away.
Oh. You look at him in the eyes.
Always.
How was it for you?
You don't feel awkward at all, apparently. He's like,
These Nordlanders.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
who are you? What?
Stop it.
So yeah, you stop screaming. You look him in the eyes and go, "That's how we do it.
That's how we do it in the
Taal.
That's how we do it in the north."
Yes. So listen, you're just gonna have to find out what happens next week.
we all are.
I'm moving out. Oh right, I think. Yeah. I'd rather not leave it there. So we've got 10 minutes before we hit our usual deadline. So let's not leave it where you've just silenced a guy by obermouth kissing him unexpectedly. It definitely worked. It silenced him.
It definitely happened.
It silenced him.
Yeah.
And it shall ever be on tape.
That's good.
It shall always be recorded in history.
It's out there now. Right, now what?
So I'm as surprised as he is.
So do you
I don't even know why I did that. Arnung is very surprised.
do you lean back and go, "What'd you do that for?" How dare you! Deviant! Okay, so you look surprised. He goes from fear to shocked, scared,
fear.
and
And to
he reads the shock on on your face. He doesn't know how to work with this.
I don't know. I'd get this over with.
All we heard is, "I don't know. Let's just get this over with." There was a gap in the middle, and we can't guarantee that we could add those together and come up with something sensible. So we don't know what you said there.
wait, what? You want me to get the butter for you? Oh, that's just wrong.
Let's just get this over and done with. So yeah, we missed the middle bit out.
I said, I don't know what happened there, but let's just make this quick and get this over with.
Still doesn't read well.
So, you saying butter or no?
No, we're going to do this dry.
Oh, I'm gone.
I don't know what you're
Talk-
talking about.
Tolkien never wrote at this sort of level of detail. Please, I beg you, in the name of Sigma, our saviour, please, just leave. I don't know what I've done everything you've asked of me and more.
My name is Arnung.
I don't
from
want to know your
Nordland.
name. You just stop.
You stop.
You temptress.
Look at you there, all looking coy at me. I'm not looking coy at you.
Like a deer caught in the headlights.
Oh, you tease.
Oh.
Such you said.
This is not where the game was expecting to go.
Especially 10 minutes to go and suddenly,
Go first.
My name is Arnung.
What's this going to be a statement?
Wait, you're proposing to him now after that
I'm
first
from-
kiss.
Shut up! I'm trying to do my thing.
Oh, what? There's a bedroom upstairs.
no.
I could do that up here, there, but it'd be easier doing it here.
No, please.
Yes!
No.
Yes! Just
You did it again.
what?
You said yes, and then your lips moved really fast, but nothing came out.
I said, let me finish. It's
No!
not as bad.
No!
Yes!
Let me finish. It's not as bad as you think.
It isn't. Okay, listen. Cunts.
It suddenly turned Guy Ritchie. Listen, cunts.
Listen, sugar tits.
You haven't had enough Weetabix.
Alright, cunts. Listen here. No, listen up. This isn't as bad. Just let me finish. What I was going to say was, my name is Arnung. I'm from Nordland. And
Not too long.
part of my job is to search out those that are, I see, a threat to the Empire. And I declare you a threat of the Empire. And this is why you're going to have to die.
But I just...
Any last words?
Please don't.
Oh, okay. No, that's not working.
Sigma, protect me. In my hour of need, please, Sigma, shine your light upon me. He's got his eyes closed. Fists out.
I turn the candle on. I light it. Oh, there's your light.
This is Sigma.
Please, Sigma, protect me, your loyal servant, the doer of your needs and will. Please protect me against those that would do me harm. Protect me against the darkness, against the sinner, against the abomination and the deviant.
I am Arnung, Brotherhood of the Stag.
Protect me against the Brotherhood of the Stag. Protect me against this Arnung.
No. Yeah.
Goodbye. Let's break his neck.
Right. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Pick him up, put him back in his chair
with his book.
with his book.
Now, if this doesn't hit 500, I don't know what that was all about.
Sorry.
Go Parker.
Yeah, well, that wasn't expected.
You think?
Shocking.
For everyone, I think.
That was nice. That was gentle. I've never GM'd
A full team session.
a
Coming out scene.
Yeah, like that was character development at its maximum. That was That was
Maximum.
Kevin's spacey shit. That.
Yeah. No.
Right. Well, everybody, thanks very much for watching. It's good night from Kane.
It's good night from Talbot.
Good night from Nevin.
Good night from Hull.
See you next week.
Good night.
Night.